Gerald, camera reviews need to change. 26 minutes. And apparently, because he criticised the Panasonic GH6, he's not been invited to the S5 II launch. And now, just to confirm his downfall from grace, he's not been invited to Tokyo a second time because Panasonic said, look, Gerald, we love you and everything, but you're not going to like this camera. The S9, it's small and it's really for photographers and social media users and stuff. So you're not going to like it. We're not going to invite you. Bye. And he's not taken kindly to it. 26 minutes of complaining, basically, about Panasonic and LUMIX. And look, Gerald, you've complained here for 26 minutes. I've complained about this for 10 years. They've undermined YouTube. They've undermined camera reviews. They put ex-camera store salespeople from Canada front and centre at every opportunity rather than a talented filmmaker or a good researcher or someone who knows the facts on cameras. And primarily, they've shafted everyone who is willing to speak their mind and to give consumers the unvarnished truth about consumer products. And it's not just in cameras, they've done it in everything. And that, funnily enough, is what you've just been talking about for the last 14 minutes whilst I've been watching this. But why have you only now come out with this? You've had years of reviewing cameras, of going on press junkets, of being invited to launches, of getting exclusive access to camera people. You've worked with the PR people, the industry itself. You've had loaners after loaner after loaner, cameras left, right and centre coming through on your desk. And only now have you said, oh, I think there might be something wrong with this. It's not very objective, is it? If I get invited to Tokyo for 2 weeks and get to use the camera for free and wined and dined and get to meet all the engineers, and then I go back home, I might not be able to tell the truth about the fact the camera's a load of shite. I think if anything annoys me about this, it is the sheer hypocrisy of these people who, when they're in the bro circle jerk of the camera review team, the preferred voices of the camera manufacturers, they're quite happy to be this puppet mouthpiece for camera shilling. But the moment that they get persona non grata kicked out of the circle jerk, they're upset and they're going sanctimonious mode like me, going, this is all very morally wrong. Well, if it was so morally wrong, why have you decided to take advantage of it for the last decade and a half and contributed to this industry and worked with them and took their favours at every opportunity and their free cameras? It just beggars belief. I've been invited to these as well. I know how it works and I know how difficult it is to stay objective when you're being wined and dined. I went to a dinner with Atom. I sat next to the founder of Power VR, the graphics company. Powerful tech figures on one side of the table, me on the other. And then they expect you to go away afterwards and be objective about some shitty Atomos recorder. And it's like, it's not going to happen, is it? It's very difficult. You'd have to be a complete idiot to do that, which is basically me. And that's why, Gerald, I wasn't invited either to Tokyo. I wasn't invited for the S5 Mark II. I wasn't invited for the S9. And that's because pretty much I don't care. It's far easier and less hassle not to be invited than just to buy the damned camera. And then you can review it anyway and be completely objective about whether it's worth the money you just spent. And that's exactly the position that normal customers are in as well. So it brings you in line with your entire target audience and your entire YouTube following who are making you rich, basically, by clicking on your affiliate link. So thank you for being out for the ordinary man, finally, after all these years, Gerald. I'm going to watch the rest of the video now, and I don't think I will disagree with anything you say in it. I just think you're a stinking hypocrite, though, honestly. And you're not the only one either. There are so many people in the camera industry, like Chris and Jordan, Petapixel and DP Review, and just an army of yes men, or at least polite men, polite Canadians who the camera industry can trust to always say the nice thing. I mean, look at how bland people like Richard Butler are. It sickens me. There is no entertainment value and no objectivity in it, and it's wrecking the internet. And if I'm not a part of that anymore, I honestly do not mind. It's much better to go out there and just shoot, just make a film, just make images, make photography, do shoots, and admire the engineering of these fantastic cameras, but not the Canon EOS R5, because that's shit.